Hello, and thank you for joining us for another mini episode of The Other Side of Sales. I am super excited today to reintroduce all of you to Sunanda Nair. Those of you who have been following us since our inception knows that Sunanda was one of our first guests, and I am super excited to reintroduce her to you guys now as one of our new co-hosts. Sunanda, thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
Thank you, Ashley. I love being here and super excited.
All right. So for those who haven't gone and listened to your original interview episode yet, which everyone should, why don't you give everyone kind of a quick sales journey story and tell everyone about what you've been up to since that episode aired almost 2 years ago?
Yeah. So my sales journey was, a little non-traditional, like most people's. I started in public health and working with NGOs and was doing marketing. And I always like to say I was sold into sales by a great VP. I was actually looking for a marketing position when I was leaving NGOs, and the company I was interviewing at didn't have a VP of marketing. So the VP of sales interviewed me. Long story short, I got a call a couple of days later and he said, "I'm going to make you an offer. It's going to be for a sales position." And I was like, okay, no. But, 5 days later, after a few, conversation and thinking about it, I was signing my first, employment for a cold calling sales position. And haven't looked back since. Last couple of years, I've been doing, sales coaching. I've been doing an enterprise sales as well, and really loving it.
All right. So I'm not going to ask you how you met Other Side of Sales, because obviously you've been one of our key supporters since day one. But let's kind of shift gears slightly. And why don't you tell our viewers about a time when you felt like you were an other in sales?
So I think I worked for a company, which I won't name, but I remember sort of being in this, large room, probably like 30, 40 people. And I was the only woman, the only person of color, the only, at least openly queer person. And it just felt deeply uncomfortable to not have any other representation, to be the only person in the room. That environment also didn't exactly foster inclusivity for a lot of reasons. And, I think that's on the leadership at the time. So, that's a good example of what I felt. And I think what a lot of people feel when they're, the only person in the room that looks like them or, talks about things that, are relatable to them.
What are you most proud of in your sales career?
With sales. No, I think, sales is tough. And my first sales role there was no such thing as an inbound lead. Everything was out, cold outbound calling, even some door-to-door sales. I was kicked out of a business in my own neighborhood, and at the time. So, I think the ups and downs in sales are tough, but having, creating a circle of allies and supporters and good mentors and sticking with it in those lows is something I'm super proud of. And also I'd like to add, I think helping other people on that journey as well. I know that particularly when you're new in sales, it's super hard. And, a lot of it depends on the environment you land in. And I think being able to make sure as much as I can that folks have what they need and feel supported who are working with me is something I'm also proud of.
That's fantastic. All right. Wrapping this up with some fun. What is the first thing you're going to do when COVID is over and normal, quote unquote, life comes back?
I'm a Midwest kid. I grew up around diners in Detroit and Chicago. So Ashley knows this, but I just moved, recently to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh Wood.
I want to sit at a diner, a Denny's, a Waffle House.
Yeah, you got to do the Waffle House.
Got to do the Waffle House.
You just have to do the Waffle House.
Yeah. Just want a greasy breakfast, coffee, like just normal,
crayons for the kid to draw on the placemat. Yeah.
Let him have chocolate chip pancakes or waffles or whatever and just go to town. That to me is what I'm looking forward to.
That's amazing. Well, Sunanda, thank you so much again for joining us in this journey. I'm excited to see where this takes us.
Absolutely. Super excited again, Ashley, and thank you so much.